youtube.com/MayhewMayhem. That's youtube.com/MayhewMayhem.
Hello and welcome to another episode of 30 Minutes of Mayhem. I am your host, my name is Michael Mayhew, and I am here with my co-hosts.
What's up, everybody? It's me again, Greg, and also returning this week is my brother, who every time he dies in a video game goes into an epileptic seizure.
That's pretty much true. And I am Scott. Also joining us is this motherfucking piece of shit.
And I'm James, the only one here that's not a fucking douchebag.
Of course, you're listening to us right now, but if you ever wanted to find any of the other places that we're available on, remember we are available not only on YouTube, but also iTunes, Android, Stitcher, and Spreaker. All you have to do is search MayhewMayhem on them, MayhewMayhem. Oh, and also make sure to rate us 5 stars. We'd really appreciate that.
Also, you can help us afford to continue doing the show by donating to 30 Minutes of Mayhem via PayPal. Just use the email address in the description, 30minutesofmayhem@gmail.com.
As I said, welcome to 30 Minutes of Mayhem, the podcast your mother can be ashamed of. And James, tell me, why is this the podcast your mother can be ashamed of?
She don't like what we have to say.
That is exactly correct. Now, before we get to this first segment, can we just take a moment to admire Iggy Azalea's ass?
Only decent part about her.
When I look at it, I just want to bury my face in there. Does anyone else feel like that? The thing that sucks, though, is if I was fornicating with her, there is no possible way for me to hit it from the back because my dick is not big enough to get past those cheeks. I may, if I'm lucky, just barely get the head in the puss. Most likely, I'm not going to be able to get past those cheeks, so if I result to, like, maybe just treating those cheeks like a hot dog bun and my dick like the hot dog, if I just fuck those cheeks, would that be satisfactory enough is my question. I just know that there's no way for me to get my dick past those cheeks. See, even if I could, it would be terrible for her. I'm not going to lie, because there's many things that I am bad at. Performing coitus is one of the things that I am very bad at. And I want to open it up to any female that I have performed coitus with. If you're listening to this and you would like to come on and testify about my poor performance in the bedroom, you are more than welcome to come on to the show. Just contact me and we will set something up and you can talk about whatever you want to talk about me. So on that note, let's go ahead and get right into this. I want to introduce this new segment. It's going to be called Pass Judgment on Me. So how this segment's going to work is someone is going to tell us something and then the other three are going to give their opinion on it and then render a final decision about the story that is told or the situation or whatever that is told by the person. On this particular example, for the first one, I'm going to tell you guys something, and then you're going to give me your opinion on it, and then collectively between the three of you, make a decision if I'm a piece of shit or if I'm in the wrong or however it may be. Okay, so previously on one of the episodes, I was unable to find which episode it's on, driving me nuts. But we talked about internet dating sites or internet dating. Would you ever use an internet dating site? And if you heard the episode, you heard me speak very negatively against or about internet dating sites. And I still feel that way, but I was talking to a friend of mine and he said to me, like, what are you doing right now? You're not doing anything. The passiveness of the internet dating site, is that really such a negative thing? Because it's not like you really have to put that much effort into it. It's more passive than it is what I would call aggressive. So you're not out there actually seeking females now as it is. So the internet dating sites, whatever, you create a profile, you do whatever, and then you just kind of mingle. If something happens, something happens. He's like, you should just fucking create one. So he convinced me to create one. So I actually created 2 on 2 different sites. But here's where the issues come in. Because I still feel exactly the same way as I stated on the episode that we previously talked about internet dating sites. I don't take it serious. I just, like, can't take it serious. I'm not like, I'm gonna find true love on fucking Match.com or whatever, whoever's fucking slogan that is. I don't feel that way at all. So, say for example, I'm rendering a video or I'm needing to pass time before I do whatever. I'll get on there and just browse around and fuck around, and if someone messages me or whatever, I'll reply. But I don't take any of it serious. I just use it as a utensil to pass time. Now, my question is, because there are people on there that do take it completely 100% serious, and then you got someone on there like me, I just use it to kind of pass the time, whatever, when I'm bored. Because I use the sites in that manner, does that make me an asshole or like a piece of shit because those people take it serious and I'm not taking it serious and I'm just using it as a pastime activity?
No, because I'm pretty sure there are tons of other people on that site who, in fact, I know for a fact because I remember reading an article about people who start fake dating profiles for shits and giggles, just to either I mean, because you only created it to because a friend of yours
Hang on real quick, are you like jerking, are you jerking off while
no,
you're,
I'm
he's
sorry.
like, online dating sites, yeah buddy,
I'm
fuck
readjusting.
yeah, that's one
I'm
of me.
readjusting
Spit on that
myself.
shit. Just,
I was
oh,
really
spit on it.
uncomfortable.
Spit on it. I'm almost there. Go ahead.
I was really uncomfortable
Uh,
uncomfortable with the way I was sitting, so I had to readjust myself.
Readjust himself in his pants. Go on.
Anyway, you basically started it because, well, you were talked into it by a friend of yours. You had no real intention of ever creating one of these, so I mean, your heart's not really into it because it was never your intent in the first place to create it. So what the hell ever? That's not that big a deal. No, I mean, because
See,
at least you're not like the people who start the fake profiles on those sites just to like manipulate people and like use them to get them money and shit like that.
I'll actually, if people message me or whatever, I'll actually have a conversation with
Yeah.
somebody. I'll talk to
See,
him or whatever. I'm not trying to troll anybody.
no. See, that's perfectly fine. I have no problem with that. I mean, you don't use it as much as maybe some other people do, but you know what I mean? Whatever. You're not being overtly malicious towards people. So no, I don't think you're an asshole for just using it occasionally. I mean, because like I said, there are so many other people on those sites who are doing like much worse shit than you are, so it's not that big a deal.
you're an asshole. You're just wasting everybody's time. Mike is an asshole. He's just wasting people's time. Wasting girls' time on there.
He's wasting girls' time.
Girls' time.
Okay,
Yeah.
go ahead, James.
Double
Just wasting their
plural.
time.
So you think that I'm wrong because I'm not taking it as serious as other people are?
It depends. If you are talking to a person who is taking it serious and you're not being serious with them, then yes, you're an asshole. But if you're talking to another person that doesn't actually take it all that serious, then no, go for it. But you're just wasting somebody else's time if you are not taking it serious and they are.
Well, they could just move on in that situation on that website. I mean, it's just like if they find that that person isn't really serious, then they could just move on to someone who really is serious in the whole scheme of things on that.
I mean, you're probably going to be serious with them up front. You're probably going to say, I'm not really like looking for like a long-term relationship or anything like that. And like if you're up front with them about like what your intentions are in that, then there's not going to be that much of an issue. So, I mean,
See, the thing is, like, I'm not upfront. I don't say like, hey, I'm just on
Oh.
here to pass the time. I just the people I have talked to, I just have like just general conversations with them. So I guess you could take it in almost the manner of like not so much that I'm because I'm not seeking anything, but if there was anything that I guess you could say that I'm seeking based on the way that the situations play out, is it's more of like a friendship thing. I'll talk to people on there if they message me, but I'm not gonna go out of my way to be like, we should start this conversation, and this conversation needs to lead to like us meeting or whatever, or however the fuck people do the shit on
You
there.
gotta tell them you got a little dick first,
Well, I gotta get to
or
that. I
then
can't
they'd
be,
just be completely disappointed.
I
Come
can't.
on.
I can't just go off the bat and be like, they'll be like, hey, how are you
I guess
doing? I'll
some
be like,
bitches
well,
prefer something smaller.
yeah, well, they can't just message me and they'd be like, hey, how are you doing? I like the fact that you are college educated, and I'm like, I got a small dick. I can't just, I can't lead off with that, and they're like, okay, you creep ass motherfucker, because see that leaves the wrong impression. I'm not against like say I'm just having a general conversation with somebody on there, and then the conversations proceed to the fact that it's like, oh hey, you want to go get whatever fucking coffee sometime or whatever. I'm not gonna say no, but like I'm not taking it serious. Like I'm not determined to meet somebody on there or to meet anyone. Period. It's just that like I use it to pass the time, and I talk to people if they message me. And
You just want my general opinion on the
Yep.
whole issue? My first impressions with the whole dating website was ridiculous at first. Now it has become a little gray area. It isn't because I'm getting desperate for someone. No, it's just. I mean, I guess I could see that in some people, but
Like me.
the
So what you're telling me you got a profile on blackpeoplemeet.com?
Possibly. So let's
God.
the jury needs to render
Dark.
a decision at this point. Now, between the three of you, conclude.
So what do you guys think? I think
I would
I
say
think he's innocent. I think
I
he's
think
like
yeah, I think he has justified himself to me.
I say he's guilty. No, yeah, I would definitely. I'm full-heartedly behind you guys. He would be innocent in this situation.
Based on the facts provided, the jury has decided
we
that I'm
find you innocent. You are not an asshole.
Yep.
fair enough. Okay.
Yay! Let's
Quick.
go ahead and get hammered.
Staying on the fact of internet, not so much about the dating, because trust me, on dating sites you see a whole lot of these, and these things are selfies. Now I don't remember exactly what the article said that I read because it has been a while, but this article said that they have done some studies that have determined that selfies are linked to narcissism, addiction, and body dysmorphia.
I could
Now,
believe it.
I can
That's scary.
I can also say that I 100% agree that this is, probably true. If you're constantly taking pictures of yourself, I can see you being a narcissist. And
hmm
the addiction, if repeatedly taking photographs of yourself because you're trying to get what you deem to be the perfect photo.
Or just more attention for yourself.
Or
Well, yeah, with females I can see it being more attention for themselves, but what about a guy?
No, that's attention too. There are plenty of male attention whores out there.
Yeah, just
Those are just
inflating,
douchebags.
I mean, you see like the guys like who go to the
inflating.
gym all the time and then like they constantly are like taking selfies of themselves like
Yeah,
flexing and
meatheads.
shit like that. I mean,
Meat
those
heads.
guys are obviously doing it for the attention, just to show. They're basically just saying, look how much more buff and amazing I am than you. You're such a pathetic piece of shit. You'll never get laid as many times as I do." Of course, the the fact of the matter is, though, is that they're probably still like, it's like that one thing I saw. It was like a screenshot somebody took from 4chan where somebody had like taken a picture of themselves and they post, and it was like it was this stereotypical like buff weightlifting guy, and he's just like, you guys, and he's just like, you guys, jealous that I fuck 20 times more girls than you? And the first response was just 20 times 0 still equals 0.
Now, it is a fact that studies do also show that if you don't take a picture of yourself at the gym, that you did indeed not work out.
What?
You have to take that photo at the gym, or else your workout session actually never took place. You do
What
know that.
study? What studies?
I think you're just fucking with us, man.
Are these
It's-
like your studies? Is this studies?
Yeah,
No,
that's
it was a joke.
Yeah, I
James.
was gonna say, he's gotta be fucking
I
with us.
Yes.
honestly believe the first one.
Yeah, it's because people always take like selfies at the gym, and it's like, if you don't take a selfie at the gym, that means you never were there. Like it's proof, photographic proof that you did your workout.
Yeah.
So there's no other way that your workout took place unless there's photographic evidence of said workout.
Mm-hmm.
Now, the last thing that it says that selfies are also linked to is body dysmorphia. Now, I gotta say, I also believe this part to be true, and especially here in America, you hear me? Here in America, um, and it's probably true in other countries as well, but in America, we've probably talked about this before. If not, I know I've talked about it in other videos that I cannot stand the way that like America tells females like you gotta look this way. If you don't look,
indubitably.
if you don't look this way, you're not attractive. You're a fucking hog. You're a fucking piece of shit. Like you're a dirtbag if you don't look this particular way. And I think that's fucking
Well,
disgusting.
they just shove it down females' throats.
I was going to say anyone at the younger age, male or female, when you're starting to hit the time of puberty and whatnot, there's a lot of self-doubt. No matter like who you are, there's always like that self-doubt in there because you don't know like who you are as a person yet and whatnot, and you're still growing up at that time period, and when everything of that nature, I'm not going to call out any specific companies that do it, but they all pretty much do it, is they're cramming down your throat like you gotta have these big old tits and you need to be blonde with blue eyes and your waist needs to be like 12 inches around. If you can't like touch your fingertips in a circular manner, then you're a fat piece of shit. All down.
Blonde with blue eyes. Are we the Aryan race now?
Well, I'm just saying, like the advertisements cram this down your throat, and as you're already having that self doubt, as you're going through that change in your life, that's got to mentally affect you. And the fact it disgusts me that the advertising does that. So obviously, already you're starting to have like this body dysmorphia feeling at that point in time because not everyone is going to be blonde hair, blue eyes, Aryan races. Scott put it, that's not going to happen. Not everyone's that way. And am I saying the person that eats McDonald's 7 days a fucking week for all 3 meals and they're fucking imploding on themselves and whatnot is beautiful? That's a matter of personal fucking opinion, and my personal opinion, as
Well-
I've stated many times before. My personal opinion, as I've stated before, a lot of people argue that everyone's beautiful. Call me a piece of shit, but I disagree with that. I'm an ugly ass motherfucker. I fucking know that I am. I know that there's no hope for me. That being said, with females, I can't stand ones that are skinny, scrawny fucking skeletons, and I can't stand hungry hippos. I like mine to be in the middle. I'm not looking for blonde hair, blue eyes. That stereotypical female that they claim you have to be in order to be beautiful is fucking disgusting to me. So selfies being linked to body dysmorphia, I 100% agree, because if you're repeatedly taking pictures of yourself and you see in these pictures that you are not what they have told you is the perfect female, it's going to make you hate yourself and your body.
I definitely
And then other
agree with
people.
that because I feel the exact same way.
Now, it is worth noting in here that it's not just females that this image is portrayed to. It's also males. If you're not buff and cut and have like this fucking like 8-pack, then you're a fucking piece of shit, and no one's ever gonna want to fucking have anything to do with you.
I mean,
It's the same thing.
I suffer from pretty fucking bad depression. I'm diagnosed with chronic depression, and one of the frequent things that like I worry about and fret about when I begin getting like really depressed and down on myself is that I'm not good looking enough for somebody to ever fall in love with, that I'm just a fat, disgusting piece of shit, and that nobody's gonna want to go out with me, even though like when you actually like look at me, I'm not really that fat. I wouldn't like most people I don't think would even call me fat to begin with. I mean maybe like chubby or something like that, but not fat. But I mean I just, because of when people are depressed, they usually like even the smallest like problems with themselves and take it to like
Blow it out of proportion.
yeah, blow it out of proportion and take it to their like logical conclusion. Like they basically always put themselves down by thinking that they're like even worse off than they actually are. So I mean, I can agree with that too. That it can be the
Train of
same
thought.
for men as it is for women, and I think that it's stupid. It's stupid and it's retarded, and the people who started it should be ashamed of themselves.
I agree with both you guys. I just think it's nasty, man. It's like a whole self-esteem kind of thing because some people don't have a perfect body, and
See, that's the thing. You're right there. You're like the perfect body, but is the perfect body not in? I don't want to say the eye of the beholder, but to me, the definition.
Everybody has a different
It's
definition of what's
subjective.
Yeah.
It's
perfect too.
subjective. There we go. Scott said exactly where I was
Yeah.
trying to go. To me, what I define as a perfect body is going to be different than what Greg defines as a perfect body. Scott and you, James, we're all going to define
Yes.
what the quote perfect body is differently. It's subjective.
I mean, there's always somebody that's going to tell you you're gross or somebody that's going to tell you're beautiful, and I mean, it's just all preference, basically. I mean, there's people out there that think they're so gross they want to Photoshop their pictures and then put them on social media sites, and just so they can get, a nice compliment every once in a while. I mean, I think it's nasty.
The part of the narcissism, I think it's not just that or the addiction. It's that you're fishing, if you will, for compliments from someone. So you're gonna post a picture that you photoshopped, and you're gonna be like, "Oh, I'm so ugly," and then because you want people to say, "Oh no, you're not, honey. You're fucking smoking hot," or whatever. It's to the point to when they get those people to pay them those compliments that gives them just that little bit of satisfaction for that
Yeah.
very, very brief amount of time. I think that is where the addiction actually is.
Well, literally just enough time to take that fucking razor blade off the wrist, because that's all people are doing, just killing other people.
Well, for one thing, I want to establish that I fucking loathe the disgusting word that has just oozed out of our society. I should say, excuse me, I should say exude out of our culture. The word selfie. It's just repugnant.
Tell us how you really feel, Scott.
Yeah, I think you're lying. Tell us how you really feel.
Okay,
Love-
You
well
need to
then
be 100% honest, Scott. Quit with the lying. Go ahead.
I
You're-
believe that it can lead to narcissism
Chances are, if you're
if it's
already taking,
exploited if it's exploited so much
The brain
collecting
wants
my
that satisfaction.
what yeah the once that satisfaction almost like a drug because I do believe it can produce that dopamine because you are looking at yourself as if you are this, dare I say, god, if you are that vain. I guess I'm going off into a tangent into like how this could happen, not why or whatever.
Do you believe
Right.
that they are? Do you believe the research that they are all linked to each other, or can
Well,
be?
I would say it would depend on the person.
To really specifically talk about the body dysmorphia aspect of it, well, I guess it could be even the addiction aspect or the narcissism aspect, but I feel like more of the body dysmorphia aspect. Internet trolls. Do you feel that the people that just gotta make it their life's accomplishment to be a piece of shit to someone on the internet for, really no good reason, do you think they perpetuate the body dysmorphia aspect to the selfies or even the narcissism or addiction? Like, people take a picture and someone's like, ah, you fat fucking piece of shit. Or someone, records a video doing a review of Flex Seal, and you repeatedly don't read the other comments and you comment on there making jokes about having long hair, needing to get a job, doing drugs. Is that Dave Mustaine? These guys are pieces of shit, wasted 13 minutes or however long the video is, I can't remember, of my life. without reading anyone else's comments to the point to where other people attack you because you're a fucking putz.
Is that what happened on
That's
on your
there's nearly 100,000 views on that video, and like almost every day there's someone like attacking Nick and I saying the exact same shit that has already been said 45 fucking times
Did
before them.
somebody actually say, is that Dave Mustaine about Nick?
The better question would be how many people have said that. There's been
Oh my God,
a
that's
couple
hilarious.
of Wayne's World jokes. Basically, for the most part, the jokes are, you faggots need to cut your hair and get jobs and quit doing drugs. And the funny thing being that neither of us do drugs. I don't really feed the trolls anymore. Sometimes like if somebody comes up with something good, I laugh at it, you know what I mean? But when somebody comes really, really hard at us, and they're just repeating something somebody else has said, I tend to say like, troll, lol, 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 lol. So original. Why don't you read the comments before you post one that's already been on here fucking 47 times? Being original, come back at me with something that I haven't heard before, and I'll laugh. I'll entertain you at that point. It got to the point now, honestly, to where I don't even reply because other people just attack those people. The trolls come out from underneath the bridge, attack us, and then somebody
And then
else
the
reviews the
counter
video.
come out.
And the counter trolls come out. Yeah, it's got to that point to where they just attack each other and go off on each other, and I'm constantly getting notifications of comments, and it's just people fighting back and forth between each other and the comments to the video. And I feel like maybe you've hit a little bit of success when there's people fighting each other in the comments to your YouTube videos. Do internet trolls, to get off that tangent, perpetuate the situation with the selfies that we talked about?
It depends, because it depends on the website you're posting them on. I mean, if you're posting them on stuff like
Facebook
and Instagram and stuff like that, then yes, probably, because people go to those sites to post that shit for like approval from other people and that, and so when they see somebody like tearing them down and being an asshole towards them, then, well, there's either two things that are going to happen. If they took a selfie because they lack in self-esteem and they literally are trying to build up their self-esteem, then that probably would hurt them a bit. If they're so fucking narcissistic that they just think that they are God's gift to humanity, then they're either going to ignore it or they're just going to like say something stupid back to the troll. And then it's going to turn into a argument with about as much intelligence as two 5-year-olds arguing over which Ninja Turtle is better.
So what do we think about internet trolls in general?
Sometimes they can be really fucking hilarious, I'm not gonna lie. For every like genuine asshole, there's always gonna be that one asshole that you just can't hate because they are just so goddamn entertaining and just absolutely hilarious.
YouTube comments is one of my favorite places for internet trolls, because sometimes there's some people, and their sole intent is just to troll. They'll say something so fucking ridiculously funny and out of line that I'm like, how the fuck did they even come up with that? That shit is ridiculous. And then another place, probably the best place for internet trolls and stupid comments, is on your websites like Pornhub and shit. If you read the comments on porn sites, it is fucking hilarious. They'll break it down. They'll be like, you realize at 3 minutes and 42 seconds when he's cramming his dick in her ass that it is not very pleasant for her, but she is just taking it like a champ. And I really appreciate her dedication to this for my satisfaction. And you're like, what the fuck is wrong?
Are you the Roger Ebert of porn or something?
What the fuck is wrong with you? What the fuck is wrong with you if you're leaving a comment like that you're breaking it down? Like, I really appreciate her dedication for my satisfaction. I'm like, what the fuck is wrong with you as a human being?
Like Greg said, they are funny, but sometimes it's just over the top rude, and you can't help yourself but get, like, I guess, mad, but you don't want to troll back because you don't want to stoop to their level, but they just need to get a life or something. And
you don't want to feed them. That's the thing.
Yeah, don't feed the trolls. You're arguing with somebody who's being a complete and total dickbag.
If they're like, yeah, well, you like dudes, you're like, and I won the fucking argument because you're calling me gay. Like, that was your last resort. I'm not gonna lie, I am definitely an asshole, but a part of where I'm deemed an asshole is I pretty much am brutally honest most of the time, because I can't help but be brutally honest. And that does it for this episode of 30 Minutes of Mayhem. I have been your host. My name is Michael Mayhew, and I have been here with my co-hosts,
Greg,
Scott, and James.
Remember, 30 Minutes of Mayhem, you can find us on iTunes, Stitcher, Spreaker, Android, YouTube, all of that stuff. Please donate to us. We could really use it. It is not cheap to do this. You could donate via PayPal, 30minutesofmayhem@gmail.com. Use that email address. And I really hope you have enjoyed this episode and are enjoying the return of the show. Let us know what you think. Like I said, hope everyone enjoyed this episode, and later, fellas.